The upper trapezius is a commonly overactive muscle in swimmers and really any overhead athletes. The trapezius muscle is a big diamond on the back, starting with the upper trapezius up top, middle trapezius, and then lower trapezius. Too often the upper traps are the muscles that are overactive and over tight. So we had to find a way to help relax the upper trapezius muscles while trying to strengthen the middle to lower traps to prevent this type of posturing. Because this type of posturing is going to reduce the space of a few of the rotator cuff muscles, and when we're reducing the space for those muscles to travel, they're going to be rubbing, they're going to be becoming irritated over time. When that becomes irritated over time, you start to have pain, start to have injuries, start to have this epidemic of swimmer shoulder or overhead athlete injuries that we commonly are seeing with our youth athletes, especially as they specialize earlier and earlier. So once again, we had to find ways to help relax this upper trapezius muscle. One, though, is just daily activities. So having athletes having their shoulders down and back, making sure they're not raising their shoulders up while just sitting there typing, doing stressful activities, sitting on their phones, doing these things, playing Pokemon Go. We have Pokemon Gym here. That's our site at Core in Santa Clara. But we have to make sure they're not raising their shoulders up. And this goes to every type of motion. In the pool, making sure they're not raising their shoulders up here. If you have a hockey player, make sure they're not raising their shoulders up in this position. Making sure they're keeping them down and back. Not during every activity. We just can't make sure they're going to this all the time during stressful situations as they're fatigued. Another common thing is just push-ups. If you watch kids do push-ups nowadays, a lot of times they're coming down and their shoulders are raising up here. The shoulders should stay tight next to their side, big broad chest, going down, pressing up, not coming into this position. Once again, not raising during the catch, keeping that shoulder blade down and stable and strong. But once again, also have to find ways to help relax this muscle because it does get used a lot in any overhead sport, even with correct technique and form. So one way is with the lacrosse ball here or a baseball. So you're just going to find a pillar, wall, place it here, bend down through the hips like you're tackling the wall, having the ball right on the top of the shoulder. Really pressing in here. You can even have your hand on it if needed to prevent it from swirling or moving around too much. Just stabilizing and holding there. We have athletes sit there for 3 to 5 minutes, and once again, we want this to have a little bit of discomfort. It shouldn't be so much you're crying that you have to have the tears bucket close by, but it should be somewhere in the 4 to 6 out of 10 level of discomfort, just like you're getting some soft tissue work in. And once again, 3 to 5 minutes every day will just help relax this. But just because we can improve the tightness, it doesn't mean it's not going to come back if we keep going into the same patterning. So being conscious of these patterns, trying to reduce and relax this area here with some of the soft tissue techniques, then strengthening around there with the middle and lower trap to prevent it from constantly getting tight, and then reprogramming those motor skills, the highly complex ones in the pool and strength training all throughout the day are key for improving tight upper trapezius muscles done in and seen in a lot of our athletes and people nowadays.